Hello, everybody. I hope you guys had a good weekend. I hope you had a green Monday. And let's get to it. I've got a plethora. How do you like that word? Really fancy tonight. A plethora of stocks to show you. We'll start off with, I guess, Sybil. Sybil had, whatever day. Not great, not bad. Uh, it it would have been nice to see it break this downward trend, but that's okay. It's in a symmetric pattern right here, symmetric wedge. So usually that is a continuing pattern. So since we were coming from down below, we might see still a little pullback here to hit the bottom of this wedge and then break out and then retest. It likes to, after it breaks the wedge, to try to come back to the middle point, the point of the wedge, that price, and then it finally goes. But we are also we are breaking away from the bottom support of the Andrews pitchfork here, which is a really good sign that it's working its way back to the average price of the move right here. So that would be, at around 0.0613 ish or so. And if it comes back down to retest this, uh, it's around 0.0421. So I know some of you guys were talking about me trying to, say the prices a little bit more. So I'm trying. So Sybil's in a comfortable position right here. It's just overall, all the volume, the buying and the selling pressure is going down. The RSI is mellowing out around 50, so it's just kind of consolidating here at that price. So nothing wrong with that. Next, we have DPLS. DPLS did come back up. It broke the negative zero point 0.5 deviation. It broke it and then came back down. So and then these red and green lines, these are what I was excited about, really working on with Robert from Fun with ThinkScript. I'll tell you about that later. But it did, that is the support line for the for the 1 day. It did break that support. That's not great. It did, however, it did break this downward trend line here. This is an automatically drawn trend line. It will just follow, but we're down below this one also. So, DPLS, we might have a little bit of a pullback here. This overall move, it's not that much. So, actually, look at that. What a coincidence. We're right at the 50 fib right here. So, if this move here, that's a nice rest. So maybe tomorrow, the rest of this week, we will see DPLS do a little bit better. So just if you have it, I wouldn't be that concerned right now. With Fern, well, here we go. Fern, bottom of the pitchfork, and now it broke up. Or is breaking out and away from the bottom of the pitchfork. Great news, great sign. We are now at the, we're over the one deviation. We held above this downward trend line to break this trend line here. So hopefully, Fern could be starting to get ready to make another big move. So Fern is looking exciting. Oh, I skipped one. I'm sorry about that. I am looking at IFXY. IFXY is new. I think I talked about it a couple times a while ago, but it's just hanging around the bottom of Andrew's pitchfork here. We're at what, 0.0110. It had a negative 4.3% day to day. Not bad, just a little bit of a pullback. We're down at the, it did bounce off of the one deviation. So me personally, I think it's going to start another run here. But everyone say it with me. I'm an old man upstairs in a dark room looking at 3 monitors. So I'm not a financial advisor, but as far as I can tell, I think this is going to try to test the 0.0136, the second deviation here. Uh, so we'll wait and see with that. Um, Next, Eyeless. Eyeless bounced off of the pitchfork, and now it looks like we're going to be trying to test the median range here. But again, I was concerned about the double top. I still am. A lot of topping tails right here. The candles aren't as trustworthy as they are in the Nasdaqs, really per se, but we're still in that double top area, which does kind of concern me. Last time it got up to the second deviation, we had a pullback, and now we're here, and now we have not one but two red candles, just down 1.69%. So we're still kind of in a either or type of a position here. So we'll wait. We're gonna have to wait and see. I know if you're in it, you're kind of biting your nails, and if you're not in it, you're like, come on, let's come down a little bit, because we all know Eyeless is going to do really, really well. So I wouldn't be crying in my beer, if we had a good pullback. Now, where it could pull back, that's another thing. If it does pull back, this is a double top, and double tops usually we have quite a big dip. It could come down back to the median. Now, the median isn't here. It is for today. But remember, time goes this way. The average price goes this way. So let's say, by the middle of May, we got a little wait. In December 6th, right when things really, really start to heat up for the OTCs, this would be great. If this did come down from the double top and it came back down to, around the December 6th, if it pulled back to like 0.27, 27 cents, oh my goodness, I'd be loading up. I would be loading up. So we'll wait and see what happens, either or scenario here. We're either gonna maybe pull back to the bottom of the pitchfork and then continue upward, or come back down, and then I'll be loaded for bear on that one. So I'm looking forward to that. LGBS, again, big massive dip. I told you about stop losses. Now we had a little stop here, and then we had a red day today, so it might maybe come back down and retest this support. I think it's going to be, with LGBS, like I said before, momentum, media play. Everyone wants to get into the hot stock, and this was a hot stock, but it's how how that football team is getting into the playoffs. If they're the new up and comer, that wasn't supposed to be in the playoffs, and they won their last 4 games of the season, and they're red hot, and they, everyone, all of a sudden, Vegas, money starts pouring in, and those are the ones that really take off. So LGBS kind of stubbed their toes here a little bit, and we're going to see if they could they better get going. They don't have to skyrocket back up and fill this gap, but they do really need to make some kind of a move getting into December to really get their name back out there again. So that's what we have to deal with LGBS. If you're in it from down here, I'm in it. This was too good to be true for me. Even if it's not one of the great stocks, it's still going to do well. So I thought this was a good price to get into anywhere in this area, especially if it comes back down to his support and bounces off again. That would be a good area, 0.0038ish area, to maybe get a good jump on LGBS. MJWL. Okay, kind of like what Fern did. It broke not one but both of these pitchforks here. I'm just going to get rid of that one. Um, it doesn't matter anymore. But LGBS is trying to work their way back up into this pitchfork. They got a tough road ahead of them here. It did bounce off of the negative one deviation, which is just 0.75 deviation, just under here. And I drew this trend line right here because this is where, if you notice, it's right above the trend line right here. And so I drew a parallel line, and sure enough, look, it hit right there, and now it hit right there. So that's always good to do if you guys are using the deviation lines. If you see, where it just bounces in between a deviation, make a parallel line, and then move it up to where it touches that, and that creates your trend line right there. So that's matter of fact, I think that's my automatic trend line. Yeah, the sniper trend line. Very nice. So it made that line for me, and it looks like it bounced right off here. And so now it is setting up. This is a downward, or what they call a descending wedge. It's a very big one, but it is a descending wedge. And a descending wedge is around 78% of the time, descending wedge is a bullish pattern. So that's exciting for MJWL. We're sitting at 0.11 right now. We might see, another retracement down to test this trend line again, and then finally break out. What usually happens with the wedge breakout, guys, is it's just a kind of a pattern that we see a lot. Is it comes down, it breaks the wedge because it's an upward, but after it breaks, it tends to want to come down to the point. And what we mean by that is the point of the wedge right here. It tries to come down, not necessarily on the point, but the point line. And I say it tries to. Sometimes it does. It comes all the way back down to the point, and then it takes off. Sometimes it just comes, down to right here, like a little 50%, retracement from the move, and then it goes. So that's what I think is going to happen with MJWL. I really think it's getting ready to have another nice run here. And then, let's see, I got to get that going. PUGE. PUGE had a nice retracement here, even though it was just the wicks. It got very close to 50%. The bodies did get under 38.2%, which is the very minimum that I would like to see for it to have another run. Like I told you before the marathon bit, right? You have a long break. You want to see it get down to 50% before it makes another move. So here's the 50%. The wicks got really close. We're looking at the 0.01-ish area, 0.0094 area. And then we had a gap up. This gap right here, that is kind of a what we call an evening star, which is a bearish sign. So we're going to have to keep an eye out on PUGE to see what happens. We have support right here, and it hit that resistance and came back down. So, but it did break and hold over this downtrend line. So I think PUGE is going to be again something to look at tomorrow to see what happens if it breaks away from this downtrend line. If you're not in it, that might be a good place to get in. If it comes back down, then I would wait for 0.0108 area to see if it bounces. If it bounces off there,
Then you got in right on support, a really good sign that this might get ready for the next run. So PUGE is getting ready to run. So, and with that said, guys, one more thing. Um, if you see these lines here, these are new. These are support and resistance lines. And if you remember my deviation setup video, in the morning, I'd come in pre-market, and let's say, okay, the candle's right here. So on the daily, I'd come in, and then if the candle, say, is right here pre-market, I would I would set up a price line at the deviation right above it as resistance, and then the next closest deviation line below it would be its support line. Now, guys, just imagine drawing those two lines, zooming in, getting them, coloring them, and then doing that not only for the daily, but then you also do that for the 4 hour chart, right? So, and then different colors. My daily is green and red. My 4 hour is dark blue and I don't know, what was that, magenta, whatever. And So that would be my homework for the day for that chart. Well, now if I'm looking at 15 charts in my positions, and then looking at the pre-market to see what the big top 2 or 3 movers are, and then doing the homework on that, I mean, that's 45 minutes of work, or half an hour to 40 minutes of work just putting lines up. And then while you're doing the lines, stuff's moving and now you're not focused. Well, we have Robert again from Fun with InkScript, and I've been we've set up, first of all, the deviations, just like mine, but now this is a part of the indicator package where the deviations are already set and they're color coded, and it's really cool that if the whole wide range of the deviations, it shows all of the deviations. And I'll get back to that in a second. But then uh, in the morning, if you don't use the Norton likes to pop up while I do videos. In the morning, it will with the extensions off. You have to have the extensions off, except on the daily. You don't need the extensions off on the daily. It just automatically draws your support and resistance lines. So here it was early in the morning. And so now look, I mean, this is how important it is. Look at the move. It came up, hit that resistance right there, and bounces down. So when I see that line, I'm not buying right before resistance. And that's why we draw those lines. And on the 4 hour chart we had, it did break the both lines, and then boom, came right back down. And that's why we wait for the candle to finish right here. You're like, hey, we're excited. I broke the support. I'm going to get in. Well, get confirmation. Wait for the next candle. Look what the next candle did. Boom, finished underneath resistance. So those things are really important. Let's see if I could find an example real quick. And of course, I can't find one here of what else this indicator does with the deviations. I know I could find one because I know this chart so well. AR on the daily. Okay, well, if you notice, where are all the deviations? Well, what we did is to clean up the chart. Instead of having all the lines on here, we only need the lines that are in play. Now, obviously, let's say this breaks up huge and goes past these lines, then it draws those other lines that we have. So, very, very nice, very, very clean, and very, very, very time efficient. I love it. Now, of course, it also goes on all of the charts. So when you go to the 1 day, 1 minute, here's the resistance right here. That was for the 4 hour, and here's resistance for the day, because that's red, that's magenta, and sure enough, look, it broke. It broke the 4 hour resistance right here at the beginning of the day. It's like, hey, it broke resistance. Most likely, it likes to go. It's going to be going up toward the daily move, the daily resistance, and sure enough, it gets close up there. And now here's the. Now you go by the daily deviations, and like I said, it usually doesn't go past the fourth deviation. And sure enough, look at that, boom, comes down. So you could have made a really nice play right there, and then once it broke the resistance again, now is support. Obviously, boom, you got another move right there, and then if it breaks the support, then you might go short on it and make that make this move at least right there. So very very slick indicator here, more just incredibly time saving. So I know I kind of got long winded with that. I'm going to be doing indicator video on this weekend. Here's the 1 day 1 minute. Look how clean that chart is. Just all it needed was the one deviation back and forth. That's it. That's all you need. Very, very clean, very nice. But I'll be doing a video on that Saturday when I know for sure. I think we got all the bugs out of it, and it's just looking fabulous. So with that said, guys, again, if you like the videos, please give me a like and subscribe. And shout out to the guys at Moon Market in the Discord. Again, if you guys want to come on and give us a try, so it's only $5. You get in and look, get on the stream, and with me watch I have these charts going, pre-market all the way to the close, and we all talk and have fun and make money and enjoy the day. So with that said, again, I hope you had a green day, you guys, and we'll be seeing you tomorrow. Take care.